Mr. Bruno here, and welcome back to yet another Cartoon Theory. So, let's answer a question that's been asked by a lot of people who are fans of the Powerpuff Girls, myself included. Can McCracken do a better job at a PPG reboot? The answer? Yes. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he will do a better job. See what he did there? To understand what I mean by that, we need to go back into McCracken's history. You see, he started out like so many other people in the industry going to college at CalArts. And after that, he got a job working on a little show called Dexter's Laboratory, which was created by his colleague, Giddy Tartakovsky. Ever notice how Dexter has similarities comedically like seasons 1 and 2 of the Powerpuff Girls? Well, yeah, that's because McCracken worked as a writer, director, storyboard artist, heck, even art director of Dexter's Laboratory. He had a heavy hand in it. And then, when he and Giddy pitched the show to Cartoon Network shortly after the 4th season Dexter ended, they brought a lot of the same crew from Dexter's Laboratory over to the Powerpuff Girls. On the Powerpuff Girls, McCracken worked as the showrunner for the first 4 seasons, which basically meant that he oversaw everything. Even though he didn't exactly write a lot of episodes, he had a major hand in making sure his show fitted his comedic personality. The head showrunner is very much there, pretty much involved, pretty much looking over every script and talking to the writers and storyboard artists to make the punch-ups that it needs to fit the show overall. Craig was the guy that's in charge of making sure that the show doesn't have any unexpected mistakes, like having the townspeople turn against their saviors because of adorable creatures, or making sure not to forget adding in the girls to certain episodes. Now here's where it gets interesting. After season 4 finished in 2002, I don't think Craig left the show. He was still an executive producer. It's just that sometimes the executive producer can be anything from the guy that made this happen and have very heavy involvement in everything to the guy who funded it and put in no creative input whatsoever. It's just that Craig was working on pre-production on Foster's, and he left most of it the supervision to a storyboard artist and writer, Chris Savino. The thing is, we don't know exactly how much McCracken had a hand in the last 2 seasons. We don't know. He may have had some responsibilities he had when he was a showrunner, in which instead of being in the studio every day, he's in the studio every now and then, and still very much oversees everything, but from a much more calm spot. Or could it be Craig didn't do a lot of anything? He just approves the scripts. Maybe Craig will throw in jokes from time to time, but I think he just approves the scripts. Even if McCracken had a moderate-sized hand at working on seasons 5 and 6 of the Powerpuff Girls, some people weren't sure if he's going to make another reboot and make it better. Seriously, if he had approved episodes like Toast of the Town and Girls Gone Mild, that's not a good thing. If Craig approved it, he may have lost the plot. This would explain why they did the 2016 reboot. On the other hand, Craig could have had little involvement with those episodes and the reboot. He had very little to do with it. He could have battled Cartoon Network on those 2 episodes, but Cartoon Network just pushed him aside. Maybe they were like, we gotta move on to the next episode, we gotta do this, Toast of the Town is a big one for us, we can't have you messing it up, we have to get it out the door now. That could be the case, who knows? It's also important to note that it's been 25 years since McCracken was the showrunner. Who knows if he still has the same comedic qualities and same enthusiasm when it comes to making the show? Who knows? He didn't do much on PPG during seasons 5 and 6, so far I can't explain what production is like right now. But, on a bright note, I don't think he can make the franchise as bad as they did with the 2016 reboot. I feel like, if anything, him producing the revival would be a miracle. All I can say so far is he's still into production on it, and yet there's no announcement as if most of the original voice cast will return, minus Tom Kane, or if any of the original people behind the show will return. Here's hoping he might do a better job of the PPG reboot or not. Who knows? I mean, think about it. Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock managed to continue its legacy of Fraggle Rock without Jim Henson or most of the original performers, except for Dave Goelz and Karen Pro. Season 2 finished production, but I don't know when it's coming out. Aside from that, I think Cartoon Network realized their mistake when they made the 2016 reboot, because they knew it was a terrible mistake. They knew that nobody liked the girls' new voices. They knew they didn't like Miss Bell's removal. They knew they didn't like any of that stuff. So they decided to cancel it after 3 seasons of nothing but bad stuff. But anyways, I'm glad McCracken's doing Powerpuff Girls again, and hopefully we might get an answer someday as to when it will come out. So that's all my theory on it. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to think. See you later, and happy 4th of July.